On News 5 Live, still no trace of missing fishermen lost at sea near Stank Creek. Family members are concerned about the whereabouts of their loved ones amid reports of foul play. 328 pounds of suspected cannabis seized in a major drug bust in the north. A Salvadoran caretaker is arrested in connection with the bust. Ongoing conflict among gangs on Belize City South Side. Police Commissioner Chester Williams weighs in on the bitter rivalries. And Mopan Polyclinic in the West is renamed after doctors Kevin and Kenneth Guerra. Details of these stories and more coming up in tonight's newscast.
Smart got you this December with the We Kinda Christmas promotion.
stickers that read Central Bank of Belize and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe, be sure, know your money.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, December 23rd. I am Marlene Cuellar. The search and rescue effort for a group of 4 fishermen continues in the waters off the coast of Stan Creek District. 3 of the men, we now understand, set out from Dangriga on a fishing trip and were preparing to return to mainland when Jeffrey Gomez caught a ride with them as they departed southern Long Key. That was over a week ago, and the men have since disappeared without a trace. Notwithstanding a joint operation between the Coast Guard and the police department, the search party is seemingly no closer to locating the men. This afternoon, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams gave an update on search efforts being carried out near southern Long Key. So far, the searches have come up empty, even as there are reports that there may have been foul play.
The police and the Coast Guard remains out at sea, searching the area of Long Key, where these men were supposedly last seen. But so far, our search have yielded nothing. We're going to continue the search for as long as we can. And we're also getting assistance from other members of the public from Dangriga. And so we're going to see how that search materializes down the road.
Is there any concern that these men may be the victims of any sort of foul play or so, sir?
Well, there are several things that have come to mind. I don't want to speculate at this time. We're going to wait and see what happens down the road.
This afternoon, the elder sibling of missing fisherman Jeffrey Gomez spoke with News 5. According to Yasmin Morgan, her brother had only just relocated to Dangriga 3 weeks ago and was last seen on southern Long Key with a family whom he was staying with on the island. Gomez, we understand, caught a ride with 3 other fishermen on a vessel called Sea Life. When they failed to arrive in Dangriga, the common-law wife of Omar Thompson reported to police that he, along with 2 others, including Brenton Brackett and Leon Joseph, was unaccounted for. Shani Alvarez was unaware that a 4th person had joined them on the return trip. Morgan told us this evening that she was made aware of their disappearance on a social media post over the weekend.
My brother just moved to Stan Creek like 3 weeks ago. And the last time we talked to him, December the 3rd. Well, we may know he phone me to get trouble, so we may feel like when he know the contact with us, because yeah, the phone must say not to work no more. And Saturday, we see a Facebook post stating that 4 guys went missing out at sea, and he was one of them. We then tried to call and gather information to see what happened. And the same lady that posted the Facebook page, we then get in contact with her, and she told us that on the 11th, which I believe was a Friday, he asked the 3 guys who went to fishing on the island, I believe that said there, and was returning back to inland, that said there for a ride. So he was just hiking. So just note that he was hiking. He wasn't with the 3 guys who went fishing. He was already with a family there fishing. And then it looked like he asked for a ride to went back inland. And I believe the wife of one of the 3 missing guys then notify, I believe they didn't reach land reached Dangriga the time they expected him to reach, and then one of the common law wife of the missing guy reported the missing person, but she didn't mention my brother because she didn't know he was with them because he was just hitchhiking back. So we then went to Dangriga Monday to try to give a report that he was missing because we see picture posting but no picture was there for him. So we tried to went to give a missing report so we can give them a picture, give him his age because he's not from there, so they don't really know much about him.
52-year-old Abelarda Oriana, a Salvadoran caretaker of Consejo Shores Corozal district, is in police custody tonight following a sizable drug bust on Tuesday afternoon by members of the mobile interdiction team. The officers received information that a stash of marijuana was being stored inside a small zinc structure on a farm in Consejo Shores. When they arrived at that location, an operation was conducted, which yielded 5 large plastic bags and a total of 121 parcels of suspected cannabis concealed inside a pair of drums. Oriana was subsequently arrested and is expected to be charged with possession of controlled drugs with the intent to supply. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams has a few more details.
Yesterday, the police went and searched an area in the Corozal district. The search of that area revealed the discovery of several parcels of cannabis. The cannabis was taken to the Corozal police station where it was weighed and amounted to, I think, 317 pounds. One person was found in the area. That person is currently in custody and will be charged sometime today for drug trafficking.
Do you know where the drug originated?
We believe the drugs is from Mexico side.
Okay.
Christmas is less than 2 days away, and Commissioner Chester Williams and his officers have re-strategized the police department's crime-fighting efforts to keep citizens safe. The focus, however, is Belize City, and in particular, Southside, where gang-related crimes have increased over the past few weeks. 3 main areas have been identified, and the department's Special Patrol Unit has been assigned to keep gang members in the San Martins area under control. The Gang Suppression Unit will be looking over the Extension and George Street areas. Williams has cautioned his officers not to be brutal, but if needs be, gang members will feel the wrath of the police.
We also re-strategize our efforts in the Martins area, the Extension area and George Street area. Those are the areas that were becoming problematic. You will know now that the GSU are out of the Martins area and we now have the SPU in. I anticipate that with the leadership of Mr. Gamboa taking over the policing of the Martins area, we're going to see significant reduction in the gang flare-ups in that area. And the GSC, which is a much smaller unit, should be better poised to be able to police the Extension and the George Street area. So we're going to see where that goes. And the gang members have also been told we are monitoring their activities, and if they continue their foolishness, we know what to do. While yes, the directive is for them to do their job, it does not mean that they are going to be brutal. But if or when the time comes for them to be brutal, someone wants to behave in such a way, being out there, perpetrating violence, you don't expect the police is going to come with powder and lotion to powder and lotion you. They are going to feel the wrath of the police.
Major crimes decreased over the past 11 months. That is according to the Belize Crime Observatory, which released its crime analysis report on Tuesday. An overall decline of 30% in major crimes was recorded, according to the report. The Belize Crime Observatory reports that there were 818 major crimes recorded between January and November 2020, a reduction of 352 cases when compared to the same period last year. Homicides increased in November 2020 with 12 murders being recorded, up from 8 in October 2020 and 10 in November 2019. However, from January to November 2020, murders were down by 21%, with 25 fewer murder victims recorded. This was due to a reduction in murders from 119 from January to November 2019 to 94 from January to November 2020. According to the report, Belize's murder rate is projected to fall this year to around 25 per 100,000 inhabitants, which would be the lowest rate recorded for Belize since 2013. The Commissioner of Police shared his views on the crime analysis report.
Whether the murder count goes above 100 or not, I still believe that the police department have done a Herculean job this year in terms of combating crime. The last time we have a murder count near 100 was 2008 or 2013, at which time our population was far less than it currently is, and at which time our gang activities were not as high as they are currently. And so it takes a lot for us to have been able to achieve that figure. And so I want to tell the public and to say to the police that even if it is that we were one murder less than last year, it would have still been a good achievement for us. Every life we'll save is a plus for us.
Coming up, public transportation and the new statutory instrument. Commissioner Williams weighs in on buses and water taxis.
The Belize Police Department is now accepting applications for Recruit Squad number 95. Application forms can be obtained at the nearest police stations or downloaded via the police website at www.belizepolice.bz. Completed application forms along with recent police record and other supporting documents can be submitted to the National Police Training Academy or to the nearest head police station in the districts no later than 5 p.m. on Thursday, December 31. Applicants must be a Belizean national, must be between the ages of 18 and 35, must be no less than 5 feet 5 inches tall, and must be in possession of a high school diploma.
Time of the year is filled with tradition. The lights on the tree, the decorated homes, the Christmas music playing non-stop on most of our popular radio stations, resulting in great joy and laughter. It is all a part of the holiday season, as are the church services, reminding us that Christmas should always be about the birth of Jesus Christ. Now I know the joy that accompanies the holiday season has been greatly dampened by the COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused many of us to lose close relatives and friends. For many more, it has caused tremendous hardships. This Christmas, more than 45,000 Belizeans are unemployed, and more will be unable to buy presents and have the kind of Christmas we're all accustomed to. Still, there's always reason to find hope at Christmas time. This year we can get together with our immediate family and make unique and special presents, cook a meal together, attend church virtually, sing our favorite Christmas songs, and do all we can to make Christmas special, especially for the children. At work, while we cannot host parties and dinners, we can use the funds to assist one of our amazing frontline workers. Show them how much we appreciate their sacrifice and service. And I know I speak for all of us when I say to our healthcare personnel, sanitation workers, police, BDF, and all who risk their lives every day to assist with the pandemic. Thank you for your service. Whatever we do this holiday season, remember that Christmas is about love. It is about giving and about caring. Our Choo Choo Belizean Christmas is not actually for sale in any store. It really is about sharing. So, let's share by staying home and spending time with just those of our household. Let us use technology to reach out to our friends and neighbors. Remember, the best gift we can give them this year is to keep each other safe. Yes, I know it's not what we wanted, but our Belizean Christmas with friends, parties, and large family gatherings will happen again. I know it will. But for now, let us be safe and be thankful for God's grace, mercy, and for love. From my family to yours, Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Traveling on public transportation has for years been a terrible experience. And with cases of COVID-19 increasing daily, commuting on buses and dollar vans has become an even more frightening experience. Buses continue to operate at full capacity and some are even overloading buses. This will change, according to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams. Operators of public transportation can no longer run at full capacity, but rather at 75%. Williams says that this is across the board and this new regulation will be enforced via a statutory instrument. Williams says that officers have been instructed to keep an eye on violators.
Yes, it do apply to every public transportation, and so whether you're a regular bus, i.e. you have a road service permit to run passengers on a daily basis, or you're a chartered bus, or the dollar vans, etc., the water taxis, they will fall under the regulations. And it is made clear that you must only now operate at 75% capacity, and so we expect that the operators of these public transportation are going to ensure that the regulations are complied with, and the police are going to be out on the streets, on the highways, to ensure enforcement of the regulation.
An additional 31 persons were arrested and charged for quarantine regulation offenses. 13 persons were charged for failing to wear face masks in public, while 6 other persons were arrested for being out during curfew hours. 4 persons were arrested for failing to practice social distancing, and 2 persons were charged with keeping their businesses open while they were not allowed. Commissioner Williams zeroed in on the 6 persons who were arrested and charged for attending a restricted social event. He says that people are still hosting illegal gatherings and asked that these incidents be reported via the hotline.
A total of 40 persons were arrested yesterday for varying degree of offenses, including 6 persons for attending a restricted event, so which means that people are still throwing parties, and the party hotline continue to operate, and we continue to get information from people via that hotline, and the police respond, and we're making arrests.
Commissioner of Police Chester Williams also spoke about the police department's crime-fighting strategy for the Christmas holidays. According to the commissioner, the presence of officers on the ground will be increased, especially in Belize City. With more boots on the ground, Williams says he's expecting a significant decrease in gang activities over the long Christmas holiday.
We do have our Christmas anti-crime campaign ongoing, and over the Christmas holiday, we know it's going to be a very long weekend. We are going to increase our presence in Belize City, particularly in the area where we have the gang flare-ups. While yes, we believe that we'll see a decline in gang activities over the next few days, we still do not want to be caught off guard, and so We're going to ensure we have an adequate number of police officers on the grounds in Belize City in particular, with a view to ensure that residents of the city are safe during this time.
And with the crime-fighting strategy comes longer hours for policemen and women. They will have to be out on the streets patrolling and keeping the citizenry safe for longer hours during the extended weekend. The officers, however, will not be paid for their extraneous duties, and this is not sitting well with the rank and file of the Belize Police Department. According to Williams, instead of extra monies, the officers will be given time off.
The police are one of the few people who are still employed and getting a full salary despite the fact that government is strapped with cash. And I have said to police officers from the onset of the pandemic that extraneous duty this year is not going to be paid. But commanders across the country have been directed to ensure that the police officers are compensated by way of time off. So yes, while we are working the officers extra, they do get time off back in lieu of working extra. So at the end of the day, we owe them nothing.
The break, the Minister of Health renames the Mopan Polyclinic after COVID-19 victims Dr. Kevin and Kenneth Guerra.
Saludos de la temporada. Normalmente, esta época del año está lleno de tradición. Las luces del árbol, las casas decoradas, la música navideña sonando sin parar en la mayoría de nuestras emisoras de radios populares, dando como resultado una gran alegría y risa. Es todo parte de la temporada de fiestas, como lo son los servicios de la iglesia, recordándonos que la Navidad debe ser siempre sobre el nacimiento de Jesucristo. Ahora, sé que la alegría que acompaña la temporada de vacaciones se ha visto muy desalentada por la pandemia COVID-19, que ha hecho que muchos de nosotros perdamos familiares y amigos cercanos. Para muchos más, ha causado tremendas dificultades. Esta Navidad, más de 45,000 beliceños están desempleados y más no podrán comprar regalos y tener la clase de Navidad a que estamos acostumbrados. Aún así, siempre hay razón para encontrar esperanza en la época navideña. Este año podemos reunirnos con nuestra familia inmediata y hacer regalos únicos y especiales, cocinar una comida juntos, asistir virtualmente a la iglesia, cantar nuestras canciones navideñas favoritas y hacer todo lo posible para que la Navidad sea especial, especialmente para los niños. En el trabajo, aunque no podemos organizar fiestas y cenas, podemos usar los fondos para ayudar a uno de nuestros increíbles trabajadores de primera línea. Demuestren cuánto apreciamos su sacrificio y servicio. Y sé que hablo en nombre de todos nosotros cuando le digo a nuestro personal de atención médica, trabajadores de saneamiento, policía, BDF y a todos los que arriesgan sus vidas cada día para ayudar con la pandemia. Gracias por su servicio. Hagamos lo que hacemos en estas fiestas. Recuerda que la Navidad es sobre el amor, es sobre dar y cuidar. Nuestra verdadera navideña beliceña no está a la venta en ninguna tienda. Realmente se trata de compartir. Así que compartimos quedándonos en casa y pasando el tiempo solo con los que están en nuestro hogar. Usemos la tecnología para llegar a nuestros amigos y vecinos. Recuerden, el mejor regalo que podemos darles este año es mantenernos a salvo unos a otros. Sí, sé que no es lo que queríamos, pero nuestra Navidad beliceña con amigos y fiestas y grandes reuniones familiares se repetirá. Sé que así será, pero por ahora estamos seguros y agradecidos por la gracia, la misericordia y el amor de Dios. De mi familia a la suya, ¡Feliz Navidad! ¡Merry Christmas!
Or Polyclinic for medical attention or further referrals is also something you can do. Together, we can end gender-based violence in Belize. We are here to help you. This message is brought to you by the National Women's Commission with funding from the Engender and Spotlight projects, with support from the Department of Youth Services.
The Minister of Health and Wellness today officially renamed the Mopan Polyclinic in Benque Viejo del Carmen after doctors Kevin and Kenneth Guerra. The twin brothers died within a day of each other after contracting the deadly coronavirus. They both worked in medical facilities in the west at the San Ignacio Community Hospital and in the south at the Independence Polyclinic. During a small ceremony this morning, Minister Michelle Shabat unveiled the new name of the clinic, which will now be referred to as Doctors Kevin and Kenneth Guerra Polyclinic 2.
Over the past two decades, the population of Benque Viejo town has doubled, and so has the need of providing healthcare services. For many years, health services were provided through the Mopan Health Center that became too small for the demand of health services in the area. For that reason, this polyclinic was constructed and funded by a joint venture between the government of Belize and the government of the United Kingdom. Since then, this polyclinic has been operational, providing health services to Benque Viejo town, the village of Socots, Arenal village, Cala Creek, and Corozalito. This facility offers outpatient services for acute and chronic illnesses, family and community health services, which includes prenatal care, postnatal care, and child health. Additionally, this facility is equipped to provide urgent medical care. The COVID pandemic has ravaged our country and our economy. The present hardships are a reality globally. The Belize health sector has not been spared and has been affected tremendously. We have had to reorganize health services in order to keep up with the COVID-19 pandemic. Lately, services at this facility has been affected, but I can assure you that as of today, those services will resume. Moreover, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is now expanding testing for COVID-19 within urban areas and to rural communities And it gives me great pleasure to say today that this health facility will also be providing such needed services.
A bad cop is being investigated by the police department for a TikTok video he posted of a homeless man dancing. The TikTok is under the name Howard West or Bad Cop 1679. Posted were 3 videos of the homeless man being forced to dance. That same man was the one who lit a garbage bin beside terminal deck on fire. The attempted arson was caught by a security camera, and there is the belief that this was another attack on Farid Ahmad's family days before the trial of Michelle Brown concluded on Friday. Commissioner of Police says that the police officer is being investigated and CIB is investigating the attempted arson.
I did saw the TikTok video that was sent to me, and I think the person was being forced to dance in the area of Taylor's Alley.
Okay.
But the same individual was the one who had gone to lit a fire in the garbage bin beside the terminal deck. And that matter is currently being dealt with by Professional Standard Branch, who is looking at the internal aspect of the police officer forcing the person to dance. And the CIB is looking at the possible attempt arson of the terminal deck where the individual, the old person is concerned.
Sir, does that act in terms of the arson has anything to do with the Farid Ahmad case?
At this time, I don't know, and we don't want to speculate, but the matter is with CIB, they're investigating, and I would anticipate that they're going to question who needs to be questioned, with a view to ascertain if, in fact, it has some relation to the Farid Ahmad case.
Have you been able to confirm whether the TikTok account belongs to one of your officers? I think the TikTok account goes by the handle Bad Cop.
Yes, it do belongs to our police. We can see that, and he's the one who named himself Bad Cop. So when he gets dismissed or fired, then he knows why.
When we come back, 20 flavors of nice cream in the South.
World Health Organization, European Union, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
It was a little tough this time around due to the COVID-19 pandemic and its annual kettle appeal being downsized. But even as funds have not been rolling in, the Salvation Army is still pushing forward with its Christmas hamper drive this year. Today, residents lined up 6 feet apart to collect a voucher to shop for their pantry items, courtesy of the humanitarian organization. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Today at the Salvation Army headquarters in Regent Street, the annual Christmas hamper drive got underway. But it was different this year. Residents weren't walking away with a bag filled with groceries, but were instead receiving a voucher to shop at any of the public supermarkets across the city and at a store in San Ignacio for the supplies they would need to have a Christmas meal.
This is the new normal for this year. We actually are not giving out physical hampers. We have partnered with Publix and supermarket in Belize City, the 3 branches, as well as Tyson supermarket in San Ignacio. Because we started late and because of COVID, because of so many things, we just came up with this arrangement last week with Publix, and so our package is valued at $34, so we are giving everybody a $35 shopping voucher for Publix.
Agnes Alvarez was among 775 persons from across Belize and Cayo districts that's benefiting from this annual drive. The elderly woman says that on a monthly basis, she and her family of 3 have been supported by the organization's food pantry program, and this voucher is a huge help just in time for Christmas.
Every month I get mine from over here. Every month, yes. It's not only Christmas, but it's every month I get from Salvation Army.
And this year will just help to make the Christmas dinner good.
Oh, yes. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the Salvation Army to give me that Christmas spirit.
Major Jonathan Kellman says that the change in distribution of the packages was needed for social distancing and for the safety of the staff at the Salvation Army. Beneficiaries in Maskell Village are the only ones who will be getting a bag of groceries instead of vouchers due to the location.
Places that we will distribute, because we're distributing in 6 locations. As usual, you know, we split it up. Here is the main one, and then Castle Street, Orange Street, Hattieville, Georgeville, Maskell Village. So those in Maskell, we don't have a supermarket there that we could partner with. So we're giving them a bag, well labeled, branded.
Will get a bag like
yes, yeah. So this is ready for them. Publix did package especially for them. And so I want to thank Publix. I want to thank the business community. We have had some people come here personally to bring their donation for Christmas. Every year they make a donation and they have not received my letter in the mail as yet. And so, because we started late. And so we haven't received a letter, but we brought the contribution and said, which means that after 105 years in this country of serving the people, we have people that are long-time committed donors.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
500 plates of food were distributed today to residents of Cotton Tree Village in the Cayo district. The food donation comes courtesy of the Belize Police Department, Benny's, and Cayo South Area Representative Julius Espat. The food was delivered to the homes of residents with the aim of strengthening the relationship with the community. With the pandemic affecting families, Commissioner Williams says that providing food for the villagers goes a long way.
The police department, Benny's, and Cayo South Area Representative, Mr. Julius Espat, we came together and decided that we're going to do a food drive for the people of Cotton Tree. And with that, we mobilize and get things together, and so here we are today, where 500 plates of food and 500 slices of cakes will be issued out to the people of Cotton Tree, courtesy of Benny's, the police department, and the Cayo South Area Representative.
It's basically a goodwill to give back to the community in conjunction with the police department, and that's basically it, just to give back to the community and for them to have something, to have a good meal
on this day and for Christmas.
There's more news after the break, so stay tuned.
60 seconds.
Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Tonight we bring you the first of a two-part story of two enterprising sisters in the South. They are sisters who just 2 years ago bought an ice cream shop and have grown it into a business that the community is rallying around. Here's that story with Andrea Polanco.
We're going to do some ice cream. So today we're going to do coconut cassava. So like I said, it's a version of cookies and cream for those who can't do flour. I just crush it in there. So just like you do with cookies and cream, you know, you would take your cookies and crush it into your ice cream. You do the same thing with this. And then the coconut, the cassava gives it a really caramelized flavor.
Kyra Lewis is just about done whipping up a fresh batch of coconut cassava ice cream. It's one of the flavor-packed, gluten-free, homemade ice creams that pays homage to her Garifuna roots and relies on the availability of fresh coconuts from their home village of Hopkins. Sisters Kyra Lewis and Marissa Lewis Robinson bought an ice cream from an expat couple 2 years ago. Today, these two entrepreneurs have built a small ice cream business into a flourishing local brand that is enjoyed by Belizeans and visitors alike. Looking back, Kyra knew this is what she wanted to do, even though it came with a little bit of fear.
I was a little afraid because I'm like, how will I do this? You know, to venture off on your own, it's a little scary, but we were like, let's do this.
When the Lewis sisters acquired Nice Cream, it was producing 7 flavors of ice cream. But as the new owners, they wanted to do more with their business. They've since expanded to 27 flavors of ice creams, all made with fresh local fruits, including seasonal favorites.
I learned just the hang of it, and then I took it to another level. From
experimenting with different flavors.
Yes.
Crabble, passion fruit, anything that we could find.
Locals, yeah, because we wanted to make the natural premium ice cream. So we use what's around us. You know, guava, anything, we're just experimenting.
What are some of your best sellers in terms of flavors for your ice cream?
Our cheesecake, toasted coconut, the coconut cassava.
I think all of them are good.
And from making natural fruits the star of their ice cream products to infusing them as ingredients in their specially made waffle bowls to serve their ice creams, Marissa Lewis Robinson, the younger of the two sisters, is serving up freshly made toasty waffle bowls with gluten-free and dairy-free options made from cassava flour. And it's all of these delightful concoctions that keep their loyal customers coming back. On Saturday, we met 3 of their youngest and most faithful patrons enjoying their nice cream.
I get cheesecake because I like the milkiness and it tastes creamy. And it will go better with the gummy bear sprinkles.
Is this a flavor you always buy when you come here?
The cheesecake. Only cheesecake I get.
What do you think about the waffle cone?
Very good. Even cassava waffle cone. Homemade.
I love the ice cream because I love chocolates and then...
So you like when your weekends can eat up your ice cream?
Yes, ma'am.
How you eat it so quick?
Because it's nice, miss.
What flavor you get today?
Cookies and cream.
Tell me what you like about this ice cream shop in your village.
Because I always go buy it and people always go support it.
And while this trio is likely to enjoy any flavor of nice cream before them, these business owners will tell you that while they've made many hits, there may have been a miss or two, but they've taken it all in stride.
Now, if you see, we have like over almost 20 flavors going, you know, so some goes faster than others, but then we try to keep up. If not, we said, okay, we'll email you and we'll have your order ready for you. Some people want peculiar taste. Really, you'll find the weirdest taste, but you know, people say, oh, Kyra, can you make this for me? Then I said, oh, sure. So it becomes, I challenge myself in making ice cream. So one will be like, Kyra, I need a sugar-free ice cream, but no sugar. You know, you'll be like, no. So, and they bring things to you, then you learn too, because I learn a lot from my customers. Because sometimes you think that the weirdest flavor that they come up with is the best flavors they can come up with.
Was there any one that you made and you said, you know what, no, we're going to scrap this one?
We tried a turmeric one. Oh my goodness. But you know what? There were some people who loved it, but I thought it was, for lack of a better word, disgusting. But it was good. To them it was good. So turmeric was one, and some people still ask about when I make it turmeric. I'm like, are you serious?
For these young entrepreneurs, running their own small business isn't easy. They do everything in the product development chain. And with 2 years under their belt, they're still working on getting the Nice Cream brand beyond the parameters of Southern Belize. As the owners of Nice Cream, they have solidified themselves as a top ice cream producer in Hopkins and surrounding communities. But owners Kyra and Marissa say it wasn't just by village loyalty. They passed the taste test for quality and consistency.
For the first year, you know, we were feeling ourselves out. We're still feeling ourselves. But we're just going with what they were doing. No, so and then then eventually we start to add more products to it. Now we have milkshakes, then we expanded the ice cream cakes, and then we also expanded on the dairy-free ice cream, because we found that most people, because we were introduced to at least 1 or 2, but now we've added more of the local flavors into our dairy-free ice cream too.
The marketing. And just being present every single day, challenging ourselves daily, you know, coming up with new ideas. I'm like, if this is not working for us, let's do something else. If this is not selling, let's sell this product. And I think that's the key to our success in the business.
What I found was that's most key is to maintain consistency. Consistency in your products, you know, just make sure that it's consistent, that it's something that when people come, they'll always find the same flavors, they'll always taste the same thing, you know, and then when they come, you try to have it.
It's safe to say that Nice Cream has found its sweet spot. While Hopkins is known for its beaches, drumming and fishing, you may want to go ahead and add Nice Cream to that list. Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in text at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at News 5 Live. I'm Marlene Cuellar. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.